At the time of his death in 1877, Cornelius Vanderbilt had a net worth of $185 billion in today's dollars, roughly 3 times the size of Bill Gates' fortune. His vast transportation empire eventually helped Vanderbilt become the wealthiest man in America, and he did it by cornering the railroad market. At one point, Vanderbilt owned all of the passages in and out of Manhattan, meaning anytime someone wanted to come into the city, you had to put money into Vanderbilt's pocket. It was as if Vanderbilt had built a giant toll bridge around New York, allowing him to collect a small amount of money from a service that everyone used on a daily basis. Andrew Carnegie is another legend who built his fortune in much the same way. By acquiring his rivals, Carnegie built a massive steel empire, and by the 1890s his Carnegie Steel, later U.S. Steel, had become the largest and most profitable industrial enterprise in the world. Office buildings, factories, railroads, bridges, automobiles, appliances, all of these things demanded steel. And Carnegie set himself up to collect a small amount of money anytime someone needed this essential product. Carnegie's peak net worth was the equivalent of $310 billion in today's dollars, more than the combined wealth of the 6 richest men in the world today. John D. Rockefeller did something similar. Rockefeller became the first American to ever have a net worth of over $1 billion. And at the time of his death in 1937, Rockefeller was worth the equivalent of $340 billion in today's dollars. That's nearly 5 times the net worth of today's richest man, according to Forbes. Carlos Slim of Mexico, whose net worth of only $73 billion pales in comparison to Rockefeller's fortune. So how did he do it? Rockefeller's Standard Oil accounted for 90% of the world's oil refining in the late 1800s. Simply put, if you wanted to heat your home in that time, something that was an absolute necessity, you had to put a small amount of money in John D. Rockefeller's pocket. These great men, each richer than today's 3 richest men combined, built their massive fortunes as the owners of toll bridge businesses. In other words, they put themselves in a position to collect a small amount of money on a service that was used by virtually everyone every single day. And right now, the opportunity to profit from one of the 21st century's most lucrative toll bridges is there for the taking. Here's what I mean. What single product has become essential to virtually everyone in the world, from small children all the way to senior citizens? Smartphones. Take a look around you right now. I'll bet you see someone using one or holding one in their hand. Heck, you might even be getting this message on your smartphone. Almost 1 million new smartphones are added every day, double the number of new babies born. And each time a new smartphone is sold, one company, a firm that has positioned itself in much the same way as Carnegie, Rockefeller, and Vanderbilt did, collects a fee on each new sale. This unique company, the dominant supplier of its kind to most major smartphones, not only has a corner on the manufacturing part of the smartphone game, the company's intellectual properties act as a toll bridge that drives billions of dollars to the company's bottom line each year. No matter if it's Apple or Samsung, an iPhone, Android, or Nexus, every time a new smartphone is sold, a toll of sorts is paid, roughly $9 per phone, to this company. In 2012, this company collected tolls of $6.5 billion, and that number is only going to climb in the next 12 to 18 months. Why is that? Because worldwide demand for smartphones is projected to go through the roof. While manufacturing is an integral part of this extraordinary company, it has shipped over 11.5 billion chips in its history, where it really stands apart is its licensing. Because of this company's intellectual property, investors just like you are able to cash in each time a new smartphone is sold. The licensing agreements owned by this firm with virtually every handset maker in the world allow the company to collect up to 5% of the total price of each new smartphone sold. Let me say that another way. 1.1 billion smartphones are projected to be sold in 2014 alone. And with each of those sales, this company is able to collect up to 5%, all for simply licensing their intellectual property. In other words, virtually every time a new smartphone is sold anywhere in the world, the seller has to pay a toll of up to 5% to the company I'm writing you about today. Now in 2012, those tolls added up to more than $6.5 billion, and that's an increase of 74% from 3 years ago. And those fees collected are almost all entirely profit, giving this company an extraordinary edge over its competitors. Not a bad business, right? Let me tell you what else makes this tech company a potential double in the next 12 months. My name is William James, and as editor of the Insider Wealth Alert, it's my job to bring you the very best of the best when it comes to ideas for building wealth. And that's precisely what I'm writing you about today, a company that is truly among the best investments I've ever seen. Only, I wasn't the one to discover the details behind this amazing story. Instead, one of the most successful analysts on the planet brought it to my attention. I've seen the research this analyst has compiled on this company, including the overwhelming explanation as to why this company is on the verge of delivering triple-digit returns. The analyst's name is Charles Mizrahi, and when he reaches out to me with an investment recommendation, I pay close attention. In fact, very close attention. Why is that? Because in his more than 25 years of recommending stocks, Charles has knocked the cover off the ball, and he's compiled an amazing record of success. In April 2010, Charles recommended off-price apparel retailer Ross Stores. At the time, the company was well run, had rapidly growing profit margins, and it was selling at a deeply discounted price. Just 2 years later, that trade was closed out for a whopping 173% gain. In June 2010, Charles told investors about a solid tech company, STEC Inc., that took an absolute beating in the financial crisis of 2008. Charles saw that this company's strong balance sheet, promising growth, and a bargain price would reward investors handsomely. Just 7 months later, it reached Charles's profit target, and his followers were able to pocket gains of 86%. During the financial crisis of 2008, Charles went hunting for bargains and found them in IT outsource company Syntel Inc., luxury leather goods company Coach Inc., and men's retailer Joseph A. Bank Clothiers. By November 2010, all three companies were fully priced. It was then that Charles sold them and banked returns of 168%, 177%, and 187% respectively in a little more than 2 years' time. Now, as you may know, money managers who outperform the S&P 500 by as little as 3% per annum over a 5-year period, well, they're considered Hall of Famers. Now, all three of Charles's Hidden Values Alert portfolios are slaying the S&P. Over the past 7 years, Charles's primetime portfolio is trouncing the S&P 500 by nearly 4-1. His special situations and bargain basement portfolio, well, they're both crushing it by 2-1. Now, while many gurus boast of astronomical rates of return over very short time spans, their claims they don't hold up to scrutiny. Instead, their returns, when reviewed by an independent third party, they melt away faster than ice cream on a hot summer day. But the returns that Charles has racked up are certified by Halbert Financial Digest, the fiercely independent rating service that tracks the performance of financial newsletters. You hear a lot these days about the battle for smartphone supremacy. But the truth of the matter is, as far as this unique investment opportunity is concerned, it doesn't matter which company grabs the most market share. That's because, first and foremost, this company has a massive intellectual footprint across the entire mobile communications sector, with no fewer than 2,277 patents. But it's bigger than that, and here's why. This company is a key supplier of chips for Apple. So with Apple projected to sell a combined 262 million iPads and iPhones in 2014, there's built-in demand for this company's chips. But here's the thing. Even if Apple doesn't win the battle for smartphone supremacy, if, say, the Galaxy, Droid, or Lumia take down the iPhone, this company still rakes it in. That's because their technology is also in each of those phones, and this company's cornering of the chip market is likely to continue. You see, Android and iOS currently account for about 85% of the smartphone market, and this company's chips are a key component of both. But what if, say, Samsung's Galaxy S4 begins to take away market share? Not to worry. Samsung uses the company I'm recommending to you today as the sole supplier of chipsets for its Galaxy 4 handsets. In fact, most of the high-end smartphones rely heavily on this company's technology, meaning investors who buy shares will be perfectly positioned to cash in on soaring global smartphone demand. Listen, trying to figure out who will win the smartphone war is like trying to handicap a horse race. But buying this company, whose technologies and properties span the entire industry, is like betting on every horse in the race. No matter who crosses the finish line, you're holding the winning ticket. And make no mistake, global demand for smartphones isn't about to slow down anytime soon. Almost 1 million new smartphones are added every day. That's double the number of new babies born. Smartphones are no longer just used for phone calls. They're quickly replacing laptop computers, music players, digital cameras, appointment books, maps, and more. In other words, demand for smartphones is virtually guaranteed to continue soaring for years to come. More than 80% of people say they can't go a single day without using mobile technology, meaning they're addicted to the technology this company has a monopoly on. And this growth isn't just coming from inside the US. According to MarketWatch.com, emerging markets are quickly becoming the engine of the worldwide smartphone market. Smartphones are quietly replacing laptops as the primary mobile device, and for many younger users, smartphones will be the only device they ever use to access the internet. Now, this company's licensing revenue alone, the toll it collects on each smartphone sale, is enough to make this an outstanding investment opportunity. But that's really only part of the story. With more than 11.5 billion chipsets delivered in its history, this is far from some fly-by-night tech stock. At this very moment, this company's most popular chip powers most of the world's newest and most powerful smartphones. In fact, their chip currently resides in more than 500 smartphone models, and there are more than 400 new devices in development. And the company's latest technology, which is designed to revolutionize internet bandwidth management, could be one of the most significant new home networking features introduced in years. But how about this company from a financial standpoint? As you might expect, the company's balance sheet is exceptionally strong. Its revenue grew 32% in 2012 and profits were up 25%. And in the first half of 2013, the company reported 37% sales growth over the first half of the previous year. In addition, the company has more than $11 billion in cash and investments. And while most companies simply pay lip service to the idea of increasing shareholder value, this company puts its money where its mouth is. They've returned a cumulative $25 billion to shareholders since 2003 in repurchases and dividends. This is a company that really views its shareholders as partners. Compared to its industry peers, this company has higher revenue growth, higher growth of earnings per share, and a higher net margin. Right now is your opportunity to cash in on an undervalued superstar of a company. But with a toll bridge in place that figures to collect roughly $9 billion in revenue this year, and with innovative new products and its chips in virtually all of the market's leading smartphones, the window to grab shares of this company at a discounted price will close quickly. Charles Mizrahi has just prepared a new research report exclusively for Hidden Values Alert subscribers that details this entire opportunity. It's called Double Your Money with This Toll Bridge Stock, and it gives you everything you need to know. Charles Mizrahi has personally compiled all the relevant details, and he explains just how he sees the opportunity unfolding in the weeks and months ahead. And I've arranged for you to receive a copy of this report free of charge. You can claim your own free copy of this report when you sign up for a free 30-day preview subscription to Charles's Hidden Values Alert. To do this, simply click on the link at the end of this message. Now, I should point out, over the last 5 years, the portfolios in Charles's Hidden Values Alert have been absolutely killing the S&P 500. Here's what I mean. Over the past 7 years, Charles's primetime portfolio is trouncing the S&P 500 by nearly 4 to 1. His special situations portfolio is crushing it by 2 to 1. And his bargain basement portfolio, which is designed to find the hidden gems among Wall Street's unloved and unwanted stocks, is beating the S&P 500 by nearly 2 to 1. Charles and his readers have been compiling such extraordinary market-beating returns by taking advantage of opportunities just like the one I've described for you today. Here's a partial list of individual stocks that Hidden Values Alert readers have taken to the bank for big-time gains, with returns of 86.6% from a technology stock, 93.4% from a GPS manufacturer, 122% from a men's clothier, 116% from a jewelry company, 168% from an information technology play, 173% from an off-price retailer, 177% from a clothing and accessories designer, and 188% from a blockbuster technology play. Now, as I've said, I've made arrangements for you to receive all the details behind this toll bridge company that collects royalties of up to 5% with each new smartphone sold. You'll get the full story, including everything you need to invest right now, directly from Charles Mizrahi in your free report, Double Your Money with This Toll Bridge Stock. But I've also arranged for you to get more than just a single recommendation from Charles. You'll receive a free 30-day preview of Charles Mizrahi's Hidden Values Alert. This is your opportunity to see firsthand just how much money you can make by investing alongside Charles and taking advantage of the hidden gems that he uncovers for investors like you on a regular basis. Feel free to kick the tires for a full 30 days. Examine your free report and the most recent issue of Hidden Values Alert and all the back issues that you care to look over. Your free 30-day preview entitles you to full membership privileges in Charles Mizrahi's Hidden Values Alert before your card is ever charged. If you like what you see during that first month, and I'm confident that you will, then you'll pay a modest annual subscription fee of just $59 to continue as a paid member. But if you choose not to continue, that's fine. Simply let us know and you won't be billed a dime. And the free report is yours to keep with my compliments. So let's get started. I don't want you to miss this extraordinary opportunity to cash in on this unique toll bridge opportunity, a company poised to help you double your money in the next 12 months. Simply click the link below to claim your free report, Double Your Money with This Toll Bridge Stock, and to activate your free 30-day preview subscription to Charles Mizrahi's Hidden Values Alert.